This conference will now be recorded.
So everybody should have this process costing handout available. And in process costing, we said the difference, we got one product, but we have costs that we accumulated in work in process one, and then we have costs that we accumulated in work in process two, and it could be many more than that, but we're just simply working with two. And then we make the transfer to finished goods that goes from process one to process two. And these last two journal entries that are highlighted are the keys in process cost accounting. The other ones we've already done before. Okay, so what I want to have happen is I want everybody to go and make the first 4 journal entries. So when working process one, we're scheduled to produce 12,000 items, and I want you to make journal entries 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I want you to post them to the ledger. Was there a ledger in the handout? Yeah, there's a ledger in the handout I gave to you. And these are no more than 2-minute journal entries, since you have both the journal entry that is to be made and you got the amount. So go ahead and make those postings. So journalize and make those postings. So does everyone have those 4 journal entries made and posted to the ledger? So you would have bought 400,000 worth of raw materials. You go to raw materials, put 400,000 in on the debit side.
The boy, you put 400,000 on transaction type.
Thank you. Move goes over. What's the second journal entry going to be?
$33,000.
It's going to be what?
I think it said 33,000. Oh, 330,000. I'm sorry.
So we debit and work in process for 330. So we buy 400,000 and we're transferring 330 in to be worked on. So let's see if we can post that. So we're in work in process 1, where we're debiting it for 330 and we're crediting raw materials for 330. Any questions? What's our next entry going to be?
1,500.
Direct labor,
How much is the direct labor?
272,500.
272,500. So you're not even having to calculate. Let's go post that. 272,500 here. Next journal entry.
200,000.
So we're the work for the manufacturing overhead is 200,000. So in process costing, we're sort of giving you the amounts, and this is kind of how it works because you can't keep track of things on a unit basis. So you just have these bulk costs that are transferred in. So that's 200,000. And you should have credited what?
Manual overhead.
Manufacturing overhead for 200,000. Any questions so far? So we were supposed to work on how many? 12,000. So 12,000 were the number of units that we transferred in to work on, but only 10,000 were completed to go to work in process 2. So the question becomes, how do we determine this amount that's going to work in process 2? We're given this information, 10,000 units were complete, 2,000 units were only 50% complete for raw materials, and 25% complete for conversion costs. The raw materials cost is top item, 330. Conversion costs are direct labor and manufacturing overhead because they convert the raw materials to the finished product. So these two items go together as our conversion costs. So how are we going to determine if these are the facts, how much cost is going to be transferred out? So right now, in this account, how much money do we have? If we add up all of these costs, how much is it? If we add up all these costs, how much is it?
I think it's 802,500.
Okay, 802,500. I'm gonna take your word for it. So we got to determine how much of this 802,500 we're gonna transfer out. And so we have a chart in here somewhere. I did not get in here. Okay, I guess you have this in your other handout, correct? So we need to pull those charts in. So as I'm doing, you should be pulling in a chart like this.
Where did you get it from? What document did you get it from?
Possibly the first document in this section. Does anyone see it in that first document? I could always send it again.
Yes, sir, I see it. For the process cost accounting equivalent units calculation, you say? That's the name of the chart?
Yep.
Yes.
So you should be pulling that in. If need be, you can send it to everybody else if they can't find it. And you just pull it, you just pull the document in. So let me know
Hey,
when everybody
Professor,
has the document.
you mind if like I back out of class? I have to go to the automotive place to get my car fixed. And I just wanted to show the initiative that I was here first.
Why, man, but you have to do what you have to do. I do, man.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Hello?
I say, yeah, you have to do what you have to do, Dallas. I can
Yes, sir.
understand.
Also, and it's recorded, so I can always come back and study it, correct?
Correct?
Alrighty. Thank you.
Okay. So I want everybody to pull up this chart and put it right underneath the T account. Does everyone see this chart? You see it, Brittany?
No, I don't.
I was getting ready to call
It's
you
in the
first.
process costing thing. It
Can you
says
send it
process
to us,
costing. That's the
Dominique?
title of it. I don't know how to send it to them.
Oh, I thought you.
It's,
Let me just see.
it's on Blackboard in course content. It's the last thing in course content.
I
It
got it.
says process
Got
costing.
it now?
Yeah, I got it.
Does everybody else have it? Anybody don't have it? And before you start writing, put another one in. So this is your first one. So go ahead and put in another. So this is the one we're using for working process one. And we are separating the cost between direct materials, 330, then the processing cost, 472, 500. We're going to start on the direct materials to determine how much of the direct materials we're going to transfer out. So as we said, we started 12,000 units. And we completed 10,000. So if we completed 10,000 and we started 12, how many were partially complete? Let's go on line 2.
Thousand?
What?
Is it the 8,000?
No.
Is it 2,000?
2,000?
That's better number, 2,000. So we started 12,000, we completed 10, so 2,000 are partially complete with respect to raw materials. And what's our percentage? It says that they're 50% complete for raw materials, 50% complete. So we're going to put that 50% here. And we're going to multiply 50% times 2,000. And we're going to get 1,000. So if you remember when we were working those hours the other day, these units have all the work done so they stay a full share. These units only got 50% of the work, so they only get a half a share, or 1,000. They can't come in at 2, they have to come in at 1. So the total equivalent units is going to be 10 plus 1, line 1 plus 4, or 11,000. And as we started 12, 10 of them were complete all the way. The other 2 were only half complete, so we can only utilize, when we get ready to get the total equivalent units, 11,000. That is, they work, but they only work half the time, half the hours. We bring down our total cost for raw materials, $330,000. The cost per equivalent unit we get by dividing line 6 by line 5. So if we divide 333,000 by 11,000, how much do we get?
30.
30? Okay. The units complete were 10,000. And so therefore, we're going to be transferring 7 times 8, 30 times 10. We're going to be transferring 300,000. Dollar sign in here. We're transferring 300,000 of the 330 out. Are there any questions? So, like I said, 10,000 of the units were at whole value. The other 2,000 only at a half a value. So when we get ready to allocate those costs, it's like these folks only got half the time in. They only got half the cost.
So for the journal entry for number 5, 300 will be the WIP 2 debit and then WIP 1 credit?
Nope, not yet.
No? Okay.
Okay. Y'all got to do the same thing on the other side with the labor and overhead costs. Then we're going to add these two together to get the transferred amount. So we got the direct materials. Now we got to do the same thing with labor and overhead. So it's time for you all to work. Go and do that other side and give me the number on line 9 for the conversion cost, labor and overhead. So let's not all speak at once, but how much of the conversion costs are we transferring out?
I think $450,000, but I'm
You
not
think?
sure.
I want some confidence.
Yeah, because I did the 12,000, the 10,000, 2,000, and then for the percentage it was 25%. So then I got 500,
All right,
and
so these
then that made me
top
get
three,
10.
these top four, we just copy them and paste them over here. Now we can't do this one. This is 25%. So the top three.
Yes.
So since these folks only work 25% of the time, how much cost we gonna
They gave
allocate?
me 500,
500. Then we're gonna
which
add
gave me 10,500.
10,500.
And then for the total cost, I added the direct labor plus the overhead, which gave me 475,000.
Well, not 475, but 472,500.
Oh, 72. Okay, maybe that's what threw me off because I put the
So we
wrong
gonna
number.
add these two together, and we get 472,500.
Thank you for correcting my error.
So yeah, please do that. So
Oh, but it was still
10,500
right though.
and the 472,500 is how much?
It gave me the 45.
Yeah, so you had it in your computer. I mean, in your calculator,
Yeah.
correct? Wrote it down wrong.
And then the 10,000 was transferred. And then it
10,000.
gave me 450,000.
So the cost transfer, we're gonna combine these two numbers. So how much are we transferring out?
$750,000.
That doesn't sound like any confidence to me.
$750,000.
$750,000. This is so easy.
Wait, I have one question. How did you
What's
get
your one question?
the 472,500?
Because you have to add the direct labor and the MOH, the applied manufacturing.
Add those two together.
Okay.
Good
And how'd you
question.
get the 10,500?
Tell me how you got
Because you have to add
10,500.
lines, you have to add lines 1 and lines 4 together. It's in parentheses right next to it. It says add 1.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I was adding the wrong numbers. Okay, thank you.
Line 1 plus
You're
4,
welcome.
line 4. Those correct? Those are the correct lines? 1 plus 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's kind of the change that we're making, not a major change, but we're going with a more, probably accurate way of doing the transfer. So just instead of saying all of the conversion costs and the percentage of direct material, we're going to measure a little more precisely. So in this journal entry will be 750,000.
Professor,
Yes.
I do have one question. How did you subtract that 50% from the 75%
I don't think I did.
to
Say
get
that
the
again.
25? How did you get the 25%?
I think it told us.
Where? Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, I see. I was looking at process 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to tell us the percentage complete.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So now we're going to debit working process 2 and credit working process 1 for 750,000. So how much does this leave in working process 1? That 52,500.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all on the roll now. It's time to go to working process 2. Raw materials purchase, raw materials transferred to work in process. We're in work in process 2 now. Direct labor, applied manufacturing overhead, and how much you transfer into finished goods. With the remaining in inventory, 2,000 units. 50% complete for raw materials, 75% complete as conversion costs. So it is now 6:10. I'm going to give you all to 6:20 to make these journal entries and post them, 8 through 13. Are there any questions?
Mr. Boyd, could you go back to the ledger real quick? Just want to check something.
To the ledger?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So what I want you to do is make these 4 journal entries and post them, and then tell me to transfer to finished goods. Any other questions by anyone? Okay, so you got 10 minutes to get that done. Since the Astros lost, we're supposed to have a quiz today, right?
No, why are
That
you
was
giving
not
us
part of my
why are you
deal.
giving us some more heartbreak right now? You know how devastated we are right now?
You all said it. Y'all said that.
I have a question. For the second one, was the 12,000 the beginning inventory, the beginning units for that one also? Hello?
Professor, you were muted.
I was saying that you only brought 10,000 in.
Okay.
And of course, by the time we get the finished goods, we only sent over 8,000. So if you all get this transfer right, then we won't have a quiz today. So how about that? You all get this transfer right, we won't have a quiz today. Only one person in the class got to get it right. Is that a fair deal?
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
Mhm. Don't be calling on me because I'm still working. Don't be calling on me. Okay, I got a baby right here. Don't be calling on me. What is the same starting quantity is 12,000? Oh wait, 10,000. Okay. Never mind.
You ought to have the first 4 journal entries made, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You got these made?
Yes, sir.
So what's the step the raw material is going to be?
I put 150,000. Wait, 250,000. Sorry.
So we buy raw materials for 250. Okay. Then how much do we transfer to work in process?
150,000.
How much labor is involved?
275,000.
How much overhead?
200,000.
200,000.
And how much we transfer in the finished goods?
I got 533,360. So 533,360 is what I got, but I'm a little iffy. I'm a little iffy. I'm not sure about it. I'm not confident about it, but that's what I got.
Is that what you got, Parker? So,
No, that's not what I got it, but I don't think I did it right.
oh, you don't think what kind of confidence? That's just like an Astro. I don't think I'm gonna win.
Just
What'd you get?
I did
Only thing
150
I have
times 8,000, and I got 1,500,000.
you said you did 150 times 80,000? I
That's
mean 8,000?
150. Then it's 275 in here, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I got 1,375,000 for that.
Then we have what, 200 manufacturing overhead? And we got, so it's 200 manufacturing overhead again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyrell, did you say today for us? want the number that's going to go in this big box. Well, let's go with the unit start. How many units started?
10,000.
So we can put the 10,000 on both sides. How many were completed?
8,000.
So 8,000 were completed. So how many were partially completed?
2,000.
What's the percentage completion on the raw materials?
50%.
What's the percentage completion on the conversion cost?
75%.
So the partially completed equivalent unit on raw materials is how much?
1,500.
No, that one would just be 1,000, or it should be, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I got 1,000.
2,000 is
2,000 times 50
half of
cents.
2,000 is 1,000.
1,000.
How much
And
over
then
here?
that one is
That's 15.
1,500.
We moving right along. What's our total cost?
9,000 for the first one.
900,000, right? 750 plus 150. Because when these costs come in, they're raw materials. So you should have had 900,000 here. Wait a minute, excuse me, total cost. Look at the total equivalent units first, 9,000, right?
I thought it was 9,000. Oh, yeah, okay.
Get 9,000. Then the total cost is going to be both these top two numbers, 900,000. So what's the cost per equivalent unit? Is that maybe 100? Is that 100?
Yes, sir.
Units transferred were how many? Units completed were what? 8,000?
8,000.
Yes.
So how much of the raw materials cost we transferring out?
800,000.
800,000. So total equivalent units over here is going to be what?
Taylor got it right. Oh, my bad. 9,500.
So what's our total cost going to be?
475,000.
475?
Mm-hmm.
So what's our equivalent cost per equivalent unit on the conversion cost?
50.
8,000 complete. So how much cost we transferring out?
400,000.
So what's our total cost we transferring out?
1,200,000.
Did you say that?
No, Taylor did.
We had to get Taylor some confidence pills.
No, I said 1,005,000.
Okay.
I think I was off by a little bit. Yeah.
No, but you went off. Don't say
Only
it. You was
change
right.
we made, the only change we made was to bring in the 750 that was transferred in, that became a raw material. Just like this 330 here was raw materials when it came in. Other than that, everything is the same. So maybe if I did the problem right a lot of time, if you don't get a nice little round hole number, you might better check. Just possibly. So we go to the journal entry then. Got 1,000,002. Finished goods 1,000,002. Okay, so what's the total cost we had in the account? We transferred out 1,000,002. So what was our total cost in the account? If we add all of these up, how much is it?
1,375,000.
So how much is left in the account?
175,000.
Okay. So we transfer a cost of 1,000,002. The units is 8,000. So that unit cost is 150. 1,000,002 divided by 8,000. That's probably going to be 150. Does that work at the cost for everyone? Good. It says we sold 5,000 units at 4 times the unit cost. So the, gasoline companies, they don't worry about a price way ahead of time. They change it daily, monthly, weekly, daily, depending on how they feel it. But they aren't planning on losing any money. So they're gonna have a multiple times their actual unit cost. And most people can't do that. You have to have a price in there and hope your costs are in line. But in process costing, the energy companies, some of the areas, they may have to have a fixed cost, but we're just assuming it's 4 times the unit cost. So if we sell 5,000 units, and if our unit cost, that's too many. And if our unit cost was 150, what's selling price going to be? What's selling price going to be?
750,000.
I guess 600. You say
600.
you
Oh, I thought it was
600
150. Or is it a
times 4, 600.
times it's 3 million? Is that real?
So how much is it?
I got 3 million.
You got to think big.
That's big.
What's our cost going to be? What's our cost going to be? 5,000 times 150. How much is that going to be? Is that 750,000 by any chance?
yes?
Okay, so So 750,000 is the credit to finished goods and the debit to cost of goods sold. We didn't have information on the overhead, so we won't worry about that. So any question on how we got the journal entries? It says we sold 5,000. So we got to have the cost of 5,000. The unit cost is 150. 150 times 5,000, 750,000. Our selling price was 4 times the unit cost. So we waited after the fact, got 600. So 5,000 times 600 is 3 million. Any questions?
Wait, explain how you got 600 again.
4 times 150.
Okay.
The unit cost is 150. We will sell them at 4 times the unit cost.
Okay, thank you.
So now let's see if we can get a cost of goods manufactured and a cost of goods sold statement done. Think we can get that done?
Sure, we have 10 minutes left.
So the raw materials purchase was what? 650,000, correct? And the raw materials transferred out was 480,000, I believe. So that's going to leave in the account
170.
170. And in the finished goods account,
It's gonna leave 450,000 on the
450,000.
debit side.
Okay. So of course let's see if we can go down these columns on work in process 1. So we're dealing with work in process 1. We're going to go to this T account. And we bought 400. Wait a minute, wrong line. We purchased 400 and we transferred in 330. And so 70,000 must have still been in inventory. And so we can go in this T account and get these other 2 numbers. Then we can go get the total manufacturing cost, which we said was $1,802,500. Less the ending work in process inventory, which is $52,500. And so cost goods manufactured, work in process 1 was 750,000,000. Okay? Let's go to work in process 2. And all we're going to do is pick up these raw materials. The raw materials we purchased were $250. So the new raw materials purchased was $250, and we had this $750. So if we look at the purchases in work in process 2, going back up here again, $250 plus
What
the
do people
$750
call?
that we got from work in process 1. So that should have been $1 million. Then our ending work in process inventory was 100,000. So the raw materials utilized were 900,000. Which is going to be 750 plus 150. Then we can bring in these two numbers. Copy. And so our total manufacturing cost, I could have just brought that into, is the 1,375. So and our ending work in process inventory is what, 175 in work in process 2. And so the cost of goods manufactured is 1,200,000. Okay. So what then is our total cost of goods manufactured? If we add 400 and $1 million, we get what? 1,400,000, correct? 170 was less the ending 170. So the raw materials used, either subtracting 170 from 14, or adding these two numbers together, and it's 1,230,000. Is that 1,230,000?
Yes, sir.
Then we add these two numbers, 270,250 and 275. How much do we get for the labor?
547,500.
547,500. And then the overhead,
400,000.
okay, so what was our total manufacturing cost if we add all these together?
Oh, I got 2,150,000. wait a minute, I'm on the wrong. Yeah, 2,177,500.
I'm gonna take your word for it. The ending work in processes, if we add these together, how much is it?
227,500.
How much?
227,500.
So we subtracted out how much we transferred.
1,950,000.
But Dominique, you only transferred $1 million too.
Hmm?
In your journal entry, you told me you transferred $1 million too.
Yeah, okay, go back to what we were just on.
But now
What was your
you're telling
question?
me it's $1,950,000. So
Oh,
is it
I was going
$1,200,000?
to add the last two lines, right? Or no?
Yeah. So is it $1,200,000 or is it 1,950,000? So what you see is I got this overlap cost in here. That is that 750 that we transferred. Right
The
now,
overlap.
we're counting it twice. So we got to subtract it out all of these places.
So if I subtract that from the beginning number, then it'll be right?
So the overlap cost we have to take out. So instead of this being $1,400,000, well, I'll let you all work that out.
Well, I actually just subtracted it from the total, the 1950 that I just gave you, and
Right.
it gave me the million too.
So it'll work out. So the overlap
Yeah, it gave me
cost,
the million too.
cost that you transferred up, you already got it in process one at 750. So you don't bring it, we don't bring it in there when we get our total cost. Okay, we already got it down here in process one, so we don't count it in work in process two. So that's the only little trick. So you get back to $1,200,000. So this number, when you get it, it always has to equal what was in this journal entry. And the only way that's going to happen is you take out the overlap costs when you combine the two accounts. So we'll show the cost so we know how much is there, but then we know we got this overlap cost to take out whatever was there. And so let's see, we can finish the problem up. Sales were how much? 3 million. We didn't have any beginning inventory, but our cost of goods manufactured was what? $1,200,000. Our ending finished goods inventory was $450,000. So our unadjusted is $750,000, which is what was in that journal entry. And we don't have any over on supply. We assume that worked out. So we have $750,000, which once again is the amount in this cost of goods sold account, $750.
You wrote it twice.
Okay, so any questions? Any questions? So this is very procedure. You all should be able to figure this out. And so work in process entry 1. I mean, work in process problem 1, study problem 1. It's the same thing. It follows this directly. Not any many tricks pretty much until you get to that cost of goods manufactured. So can we work that? Can we work that problem? Good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So you're
Dominique.
saying number 1, it's in the primer?
Correct, number 1 in the primer. It's gonna
Okay.
look just like this. So get that submitted to me.
Do you know the page number in the primer?
No, because the one I'm working on, I work with it. And so, but it'll be the first one in there.
This is due on Tuesday or tonight?
Well, tonight will be a good time, but no.
No, Tuesday. What?
I'm sorry. I was just
Oh.
I was just making sure.
Your husband's still at the border. Is your husband still at the border? So you
For 4 months
4 months.
minimum.
4
They
months
said he
minimum.
could be there. Yeah, they said he could be there until next July. So
It is
I'm by
12
myself
1.
with my
It's
heathen
12 1.
child.
They did have some actual manufacturing costs in this one, but it's 12 1. But everything else is the same.
And before we get up, can you stay on after this class, please? Thank you.
And so you should be getting even numbers. I think so.
Wait, is this an individual or group?
That's team.
Okay.
So y'all get together working and then just send me one in. Does that work out?
Yes.
You woke now, Tawa? Can't hear you. Still can't hear you, but he's awoke now. Okay. Something's wrong with your microphone. We can't hear you. Okay, so next week, if I can get there. We talk about variable costing, where we're going to do another, just going to change up the income statement some. Look at that. That's not a major deal. And after we do that, we get into cost, volume, profit relationships. So we'll spend about 15 minutes on that material. Then we go into cost, volume, profit relationships, where you learn to work with break even. And this is critical because you're going to have to work this on your projects, as well as on the final exam. You'll have to memorize formulas 5, 6, and 7. So you need to memorize formulas 5, 6, and 7. You do not need to be fumbling around trying to calculate them. So take my word for it, you need to memorize formulas 5, 6, and 7. So you think you all can memorize 3 formulas? You can't memorize 3 formulas? 3 things? You got more fingers on one hand than that.
Sir, we are seniors. We are trying to graduate. We got to study for exit exams.
Oh, please.
No,
Tell me
seriously. You
exit
know, I haven't took some of these classes that they got on this little practice exam. Some of these classes I ain't took in 2 years, 3 years, like since freshman year. And literally it's a part of my exit exam. I know that if my exit exam hard, they exit exams hard too.
I guess it's different. He has a graduate one as well as an undergrad. But everybody's not graduating. This is a sophomore level course.
Oh
But
Lord, I'm
Parker's
sorry.
not graduating. And Taiwo, they're not graduating. So they have plenty of time. And Nicole's not graduating. And Kyle is not graduating. And Darian's not. So,
Dang it.
so everybody else got plenty of time. So we'll go over that. And then by next Friday, part 2 of the project will be due. Part 2 of the project with your assumption of what we do.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And if you'll have a quiz, it'll have to be on next Friday.
Well, okay, I just wanted you to stay on because I wanted to inform you. I know that you're gonna have to do attendance next week. I'm going to send you the spreadsheet today. But you know, basketball season is back and we leave on Monday
Basketball,
morning.
but that's good. That's a good thing.
So we actually play during class time on Tuesday in Chicago versus DePaul. So I actually won't be in class.
Will your
But
team be in class?
yes, Taiwo and them, they were there.
Send it to Taiwo. Taiwo, we'll let you do attendance next week, okay? Does that work? So Taiwo's
Yes.
going to do the attendance next week.
Okay. I'm going to include him in the attendance email today.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else by anyone? So you can see this, this is not overly that bad. You got a team homework. And then we're basically done with it. And then we will move to break-even analysis. My only thing on a quiz is, it takes points out of the final exam. So there's a reason for that. It gives more chance and everything. So I just have to see how we'll work that in. But it's looking like it might be on Friday. But we'll just have to see how we go. Anything else for the good of the cause? Well, I was in Principles 1 today in my bad class. I say so. I said, well, you all don't have to worry about me much longer. You know what they begin to say? Oh no, we got to take you for Principles 2. So I smiled to myself.
Finance. Honestly, if we being honest. You should have taught finance.
Say that again.
You should have taught finance along
Why?
with it. Yeah, the professor, yeah.
Trash.
Yeah. That.
Y'all say the same thing about me. Don't they say the same thing about me?
What are you
Uh-uh,
taking?
uh-uh,
We at
uh-uh.
least take the time to break it down if we don't understand. Okay. Yeah.
Well, you have to remember that a lot of time in upper level courses, they want you to read and get it on your own in terms of learning. So, so I teach this. So, I do move back, and you've got a lot of spreadsheets and on and on and on. A lot of people, are not doing that, and so it makes it a little more difficult at times. But we'll talk about that. Well, you all have a pleasant weekend, and I'm planning on having one because I don't have to grade anything this weekend. I was just grading last weekend. Not you all, but principals one. I was grading their midterm. So I'm going to rest this weekend, and we'll go from there. So you all have a pleasant weekend. Hopefully I won't freeze tonight. And y'all need to stay in and then go out tomorrow night. Okay? All right, y'all have a good one. All right.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.